This is my little brother when he was a kid, riding his horse Puddles in Bettystown in County Meath, Ireland. This is where we used to spend most summers growing up. To him, Puddles was everything. It was like his best friend back in those days. His kind of sense of freedom, and that's exactly why I wrote Puddles into the famine. It's very poignant. When I was actually writing the book, I wanted Seamus, who is the youngest O'Donoghue brother, to have something that symbolized his innocence, his childhood, his sense of security. That's what Puddles, their family horse, represented. But in 1845, when the famine struck, survival became brutal. Food was disappearing. People were starving, and desperate choices really had to be made. However, unlike in my story, despite their suffering, most Irish people refused to eat horse meat. Go the Irish, even when it could have kept them alive. But this wasn't just about food. It was about deep-rooted cultural and religious beliefs. In Ireland, horses were considered companions. They were working animals, symbols of status. So eating them, well, that was seen as shameful, almost a deep betrayal. So even in previous Irish famines, people chose to starve rather than butcher their horses. So those who did were often castigated by their own communities. However, in my book, the O'Donoghue family reaches this breaking point. With no food left, Anne is forced to make an impossible decision. So kill Puddles to keep her children alive. But for young Seamus, this isn't just survival. It's the moment his childhood dies. And this continues to shape his character for decades that follow. The famine wasn't just about hunger. It was about losing everything that made life feel normal. And it wasn't just about horses either. Even soup became a symbol of betrayal. In the worst years of the famine, actually, Protestant Bible societies used to go around offering food, but it came at a cost. If you were Catholic, you had to convert to get a bowl of soup. So people who accepted the food were called supers, and they were actually shunned by their own communities. So the fear of losing their faith, their identity, their dignity was stronger than the hunger even itself. And that's what the famine is really about. It's not just about starvation. It's about the impossible choices people had to make. It's about losing the things that made them human, really. So the big question is, would you have eaten your horse? Sounds grim. Would you have taken the soup, rather? Well, thankfully, you'll never have to know the answer. So follow for more behind-the-scenes history of the famine and the real people who lived it.